All right, early warning weather alert for Winter Storm Yoshi for sure, because we do have right now snow starting to move into the state, and it looks like we'll have several hours of snow before we see a transition to an icy mix, and in some cases even plain rain. Our early warning pinpoint Doppler again showing that snow is starting to take over in westernmost Connecticut. Dixie in New Preston said she's starting to see the first flakes fly. Radar is showing that in Sharon, Cornwall, also Norfolk, and as we take a look towards Kent, we're seeing some light snow showers at this time, and even towards Danbury, we're just starting to see some of that snow poke its way into the state, and so we do expect to see that continue to move to the east, and by 10 o'clock should be widespread snow everywhere. So it's quiet in New Haven for the next couple hours more at least. I'd say Hartford, we have to wait at least a couple more hours before we'll start to see some snow, and across the state then, as the snow continues to move in, we'll see temperatures anywhere from 29 in Salisbury to 34 in Hartford to 41 by tomorrow morning. This is by tomorrow morning in New London. So that means we're expecting that transition over to sleet, freezing rain, and even plain rain along the shoreline. We're still thinking that's going to happen. And then tomorrow, we'll see temperatures about where they will be tonight during the morning, and then they're going to crash tomorrow late in the afternoon and evening as Arctic air comes in behind. So here's the storm. You can see the central area of low pressure way back here over western Kentucky. Out ahead of it, though, we've got a lot of moisture intercepting the cold air that's in place, and that gives us several hours of snow before the warm air starts to bump in and ride over that cold air and gives us that wintry mix. So here's our futurecast, tomorrow's weather today. You can see that snow and maybe having a tough time getting across the whole state or covering the whole state until sometime around 10. But nonetheless, by 10 and through midnight, we should have snow. So at least a couple hours of snow along the shoreline, several hours of snow inland before we see the switchover during the course of the overnight. And one thing I think you need to think about when we're taking a look at this switch line from sleet and freezing rain to plain rain, I think there are going to be pockets of cold air, especially through the central Connecticut River Valley, some of our valleys in eastern Connecticut, that will hang on longer than this. So I think I would just think about some blotches of pink in here, even when it's not shown in areas farther to the south. Here's about 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's about 7 a.m. But notice how there's sort of a lock in the cold air. Wherever it happens to be, it will stay locked in for several hours. The thing is, with moisture and moisture coming up and over that, if we have especially glazing, that could be quite a bit of an accumulation of icing on some of the trees, and that will be a problem with power outage concerns. And you can see that the precipitation ends by sometime between 5 and 7 tomorrow afternoon, if not a little bit earlier. And then after that, cold air is sweeping in as the skies do clear out. So here's what we're thinking in terms of snow totals, and then we're going to put some ice on top of this. Generally 2 to 4 inches of snow, Hartford area south from much of eastern Connecticut, a coating to 2 southeastern Connecticut, and 4 to 7 anywhere from northwestern Hartford County and into Litchfield County. And the other concern is the icing potential. And you can see what our models are doing with that one. You can see up to 1/4 of an inch or more possible across the state. Especially in northwestern Connecticut, I should say. Then after that, look at all the cold air that's sitting to Watertown, New York, Ottawa. That's going to come south, and you see what Futurecast does. These are wind chills by Monday morning, Kevin, as cold as minus 25 or lower. So that's really cold stuff, and as we've been saying all along, if you lose power and you can't heat your house somehow, it's going to be a real cold one for you.
That'll be tough. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
And thank you for watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News tonight. We remind you that Governor Lamont's remarks from the State Armory in Hartford are coming up live. It happens at 6:30. We'll have much more tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.